A fearsome change is creeping in on every breeze, carrying the scent of imminent danger. The familiar peace has vanished, replaced by the frantic beat of frightened hearts. The rulers have returned to their thrones, turning this land into a place with no safe haven. Anyone can become a target in this brutal and eternal food chain. No one knows if they will still be here tomorrow. Fear is now the greatest teacher, instructing them in the ways of survival. This is the raw, unforgiving reality of a true animal documentary, where life is written in blood and instinct. As the brilliant dawn breaks, the Akagera savanna awakens. Every rustle, every passing shadow awakens a primal instinct, fear. But fear is not weakness. It is the spark of life. Fear sharpens the senses, quickens the heart. Without fear, there is no survival. In this wild land, where every moment is a test, the harsh laws of nature are being redefined. Rwanda, the land of 1,000 hills, where the Akagera savanna stretches out like a peaceful, natural tapestry. For decades, Akagera was a quiet oasis, with no roar of lions, no shadow of leopards or hyenas. But what was the price of this peace? The herbivore populations exploded, pushing the ecosystem to the brink of imbalance. The survival instincts that had guided them for millions of years began to fade in a false sense of security. But nature does not tolerate imbalance. The roar of the lion has shattered the silence. Akagera is no longer a safe refuge. Fear has returned, bringing with it the unforgiving law of nature: adapt or disappear. In 2015, 7 lions were reintroduced to Akagera from South Africa, a milestone that shook the entire savannah. Since then, their numbers have grown into a strong pride through additional translocations and natural breeding. These apex predators, with their sharp claws and piercing eyes, carry the scent of danger. For the first time in decades, the herbivores must face a new reality. Death is always near. The grasslands are no longer a sanctuary, but a battlefield where every moment is a struggle between life and death. It was not just the lions. In 2017, Akagera also welcomed the return of the black rhino, a species that had been locally extinct. They are restoring the ancient balance and the wild power of this ecosystem. Fear has become the new rule of the game, and every creature in Akagera must learn to adapt to survive. From birth, a rhino calf carries an innate sense of caution. But true fear only forms when they first hear the whoop of a hyena. Hyenas, with their large numbers and razor-sharp teeth, are a serious threat to rhino calves. With each whoop, the rhino calf learns how to react, when to stay close to its mother, and when it is time to run. Topi live on the vast grasslands, where predators like lions and hyenas constantly lurk. To survive, they have developed a collective vigilance system. A few individuals will act as sentinels, standing on high mounds to watch for any movement. When they spot danger, they emit an alarm call, immediately setting the entire herd in motion. For the topi, fear is not just an individual reflex, but a coordinated effort for the safety of the entire herd. The vervet monkey possesses a complex alarm system, almost a language of fear. They produce 4 distinct types of alarm calls, each for a specific threat: leopards, snakes, eagles, and even rival monkeys. When a monkey spots danger, it will emit a characteristic sound signal, prompting the entire group to react instantly. The young monkeys learn these alarm calls from their mothers and other members of the troop. Gradually, they understand the meaning of each sound. This alarm system shows the depth of fear. It is not just an instinct, but a skill that is learned and passed down. The wildebeest wanders the open plains, where threats come from all directions. To prepare her young to face these dangers, the wildebeest mother uses a unique strategy, teaching through play. These playful activities not only help to distract predators, but also build strength, agility, and coordination. These are survival lessons in disguise. The young learn how to accelerate, change direction suddenly, and watch for subtle cues. Over time, these young ones become skilled athletes, capable of reaching speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. That is a speed that can match a thoroughbred racehorse, but maintained over the rugged terrain of the savannah. Speed is no longer a game, but the thin line between life and death. A moment's hesitation means becoming someone else's dinner. The lessons of childhood now become the only weapon to protect their lives. The vast grasslands have no room for weakness or carelessness. Only the fastest earn the right to see tomorrow's sun. The elephant, with its extraordinary memory and complex social structure, approaches fear in a unique way. From a young age, elephant calves are taught by the entire herd how to recognize and react to danger under the guidance of the oldest matriarch. When a mother elephant senses danger, she will stop, stomp her feet, or emit a low rumble to alert the herd. The calf will mimic its mother's behavior, staying close to her legs or gathering with other members of the herd. The matriarch, usually the oldest female, acts as a living library of knowledge. With decades of memory, she remembers exactly where danger has occurred, and these memories are passed down through actions. For the elephant, fear is not just an immediate reaction. It is a collective knowledge system. And that knowledge is transmitted not just through the sounds we can hear. Elephants communicate with infrasonic rumbles, ultra-low frequency vibrations that are imperceptible to humans. These vibrations travel for miles, not just through the air, but through the ground. They do not just hear the herd's warning, they feel it through the soles of their feet. The entire savanna becomes an invisible communication network, a language of vibrations. Under the Akagera dawn, the lions move silently, their eyes locked on their target. The warthog, with its stiff bristles and sharp tusks, is a formidable prey. The African buffalo, with its massive body and dangerous curved horns, is an even greater challenge. An adult buffalo can weigh around 2,000 pounds and is not easily brought down. Lions usually target the young or the weak, but even then, they face fierce resistance from the entire herd. Even the giants start from fragility. For a young elephant, the herd is a living fortress. But it is its small size and lack of experience that make it an ideal target. A moment separated from the protective circle could be its last. The lions of Akagera rely not just on brute force, but also on strategy. They often hunt at dusk, taking advantage of the light and shadow. But the prey does not simply wait to be killed. They fight back, flee, or resist. Every hunt is a test of patience and the will to survive. In the Akagera ecosystem, the relationship between predators and scavengers forms a tense chain of interaction, a mix of fear and opportunity. Vultures, with their sharp vision and ability to soar at altitudes of thousands of feet, are the scouts of Akagera. They are often the first to spot a carcass. When they find a meal, they begin to circle in the sky, forming visible spirals. These circling flights are not just a sign of opportunity, but also a warning, attracting the attention of other scavengers. To survive, vultures rely on patience and numbers. They wait, ready to descend to claim the leftovers. But as soon as the signal to land is given, the silence in the sky is immediately shattered, giving way to a storm of black wings swooping down. The ground transforms into a chaotic and noisy arena, where the struggle for survival plays out fiercely in every peck and flap of wings. For them, death is not the end, but the essential source of life that keeps the heartbeat of the savannah forever clean. To survive on this deadly diet, vultures have evolved a fearsome chemical defense system. Their stomachs contain an extremely strong acid, capable of corroding even metal, which helps to destroy almost all types of disease-causing bacteria and viruses, like anthrax or rabies. They do not just eat the carrion, they sterilize it. In addition, they often defecate on their own legs. This seemingly strange behavior is actually a way of disinfecting, as their highly acidic waste kills off bacteria picked up from the carcasses. The hyena, with a sense of smell that can detect a carcass from several miles away, quickly arrives after the vulture's signal. They are not just scavengers. They are also powerful hunters, capable of bringing down zebras and wildebeest. Their strange, high-pitched calls echo across the Akagera plains, serving as both a form of communication and a challenge to their rivals. In this chain of interaction, hyenas are opportunists. They steal prey from leopards, but live in fear of lions. A lone hyena has almost no chance against an adult lion. However, in large clans, hyenas can overwhelm even a small group of lions, using coordination and numbers to force the lions off their kill. Fear does not subdue them, it sharpens them. The hyenas of Akagera are the embodiment of resilience and adaptability. The leopard, with its speed and agility, is one of the solitary hunters of Akagera. They tend to avoid direct confrontation. Their targets include topi, young zebras, and warthogs, using bursts of speed up to 37 miles per hour for a surprise attack. The leopard's fear is losing its prey to stronger competitors. A lone leopard cannot stand against a clan of hyenas or a pride of lions. Therefore, it has learned to drag its kill up a tree to keep it safe. Young leopards learn this technique very quickly. The fear of losing food or being attacked teaches the leopard to act with precision, relying on stealth and speed to survive. A tall tree is not just a hiding place, but the ultimate fortress for survival in a world full of dangers. The cubs grow up in harshness, understanding that only ruthless adaptation will help them survive. The chain of interaction between vultures, hyenas, leopards, and lions is a relentless competition between fear and opportunity. Each species turns fear into a survival strategy. The vulture with its patience, the hyena with its teamwork, and the leopard with its agility. In Akagera, no species reigns unchallenged. All are shaped by fear, not just from their rivals, but from the harshness of the wild itself. In the lion prides, the lionesses are the pillars of strength. They are not only hunters, but also the protectors of future generations. When a lioness gives birth, the entire pride welcomes the cubs with devoted care. However, the joy of new life is always overshadowed by a constant fear. Lion cubs are very vulnerable and easy prey. The lionesses are always on alert, ready to roar or fight to protect them. This fear is a lesson passed down. The arrival of young male lions is a serious threat to the pride. These males, wandering in search of territory, will challenge an established pride. Their goal is not just dominance, but genetic succession. This leads to a brutal behavior, killing the cubs of the previous male. Driven by maternal instinct, the lionesses become fierce protectors. They growl, bare their teeth, and fight. But a single lioness rarely stands a chance against a determined male. The fear of losing their young forces them to band together. For lions, the fear of losing their young, their territory, or their status drives their every action. The lionesses fear for their cubs, the young males fear rejection, and the old males fear exile. Even in moments of victory, fear is always present, sharpening their instincts and their resolve. The struggle for survival never ends, because even the victors are always haunted by the prospect of being overthrown in the near future. This brutality is the necessary price to pay to maintain the most elite bloodline, forever sharpening the instincts of the king of the beasts. And the iconic mane of the male lion. Is not just a symbol of dominance. It is a living suit of armor. But it is more than that. It is a warrior's resume, written in color. Studies show that males with darker, denser manes tend to have higher testosterone levels, are healthier, and have survived more battles. To a lioness looking for a mate, the mane is not just about looks. It is a promise of superior genes, a guarantee of a strong lineage. As the dry season arrives and the Akagera grasslands wither, the zebras and wildebeest are forced to migrate in search of greener pastures. The journey begins with close coordination. Both species carry a deep-seated fear of predators. This fear drives them to action, to move faster, to be more vigilant, and to stick closer together as a herd. For the young zebras and wildebeest, the migration is not just a quest for food. It is a school of survival, where fear is the first lesson. The climax of the migration comes at the rivers, where the crocodiles lie in wait. Nile crocodiles, with their razor-sharp jaws and their ability to camouflage themselves in the muddy water, are deadly predators. As the herd reaches the riverbank, the tension rises. The lead animals pause, their ears pricked, their eyes scanning the water's surface. Then, as if triggered by an invisible signal, the entire herd surges forward. Water splashes, alarm calls echo. The crocodiles attack with lightning speed. A zebra or a wildebeest is dragged under, disappearing in a violent swirl of water. However, many survive thanks to speed, chaos, or simply luck. Each river crossing is a test of courage and unity. Climate change has made the dry seasons in Akagera harsher, longer, and hotter. The average temperature has risen, turning the grasslands into cracked, arid landscapes with withered vegetation. The small lakes in the park have shrunk significantly, forcing the animals to congregate at the remaining waterholes, where the risk of attack is higher. The fear of thirst and predation drives both species to move in the early morning or late evening when the temperatures are cooler. Animals like the topi and the vervet monkey must compete fiercely to find a place to survive. Climate change has also made the rainfall in Akagera more erratic. Some years bring prolonged droughts, while others bring sudden floods. The thunder and strong winds trigger an instinctive fear in all species. Floods can sweep away even the strongest animals. Now, strength means nothing. Only the instinct to survive can get them through the flood season. The topi herds have to split up. The vervet monkeys must climb to the highest branches to avoid being swept away by the flood. Natural disasters strip away the illusion of strength. The mighty lion and the weak antelope are equal before the raging waters. The elephant, with its superior memory and unity, faces the floods by relying on the experience of the matriarch. When there are signs of a storm, the lead female signals for the entire herd to gather, protecting the young in the center. The fear of the flood does not scatter them, but unites them, creating survival strength through solidarity. Climate change brings not only immediate threats but is also gradually reshaping the ecosystem of Akagera. Since 2010, when African Parks partnered with the Rwanda Development Board to manage Akagera National Park, conservation efforts have brought about significant change. A major success was the reintroduction of lions and black rhinos, restoring the Big Five: lion, leopard, elephant, rhino, and buffalo. The conservation programs focus on three pillars: anti-poaching, habitat protection, and sustainable community development. Poaching was once a major threat. To combat this, a professionally trained anti-poaching team now uses technology like drones to detect illegal activities. These efforts have significantly reduced poaching, allowing the black rhino population to begin to recover. Akagera's conservation projects aim to restore the ecosystem, replant native trees, protect wetlands, and maintain water sources during the dry season. Conflict between humans and wildlife remains a challenge. Akagera has launched community programs to mitigate this conflict. A portion of the tourism revenue is reinvested in the local communities, showing the people the value of protecting the park. Today, Akagera is a story of coexistence, where humans and wildlife share the journey of survival. As the sun sets behind the hills of Rwanda, the Akagera savanna enters a new cycle of darkness and light. And there, the immutable law of nature still echoes: live, survive, and adapt. A majestic ecosystem where every blade of grass and every drop of water plays a role in the symphony of life. The savanna is not just a landscape. It is a vibrant stage where nature writes its stories of survival, competition, and balance. The geography of the savanna is a testament to nature's dramatic contrasts. Endless grasslands, dotted with ancient baobabs and solitary acacias, create a majestic yet challenging setting. Precious waterholes, shimmering under the sun, are the lifelines that draw thousands of creatures from afar. During the rainy season, the savanna bursts with life. But when the dry season arrives, everything changes. The ground cracks, the grass withers, and the waterholes shrink, turning the savanna into a harsh arena for survival. At the center of this ecosystem is a complex food chain, an intricate web that connects all living things. The grasslands form the foundation, feeding millions of herbivores like zebras, wildebeest, and gazelles. These herds are not only the primary food source for lions and hyenas, but also play a crucial role in regenerating the grasslands. The food chain extends even further. When a prey falls to the claws of a lion or the jaws of a hyena, the story continues. Scavengers like vultures, jackals, and sometimes hyenas themselves move in to clean up. Other predators like leopards and cheetahs also contribute to this system of checks and balances. Every creature, from the towering elephants to the tiny dung beetles, has an irreplaceable role. The ecological roles of the lion and the hyena tell a story of both competition and complementarity. The lion, with its power and majesty, regulates herbivore populations, preventing overgrazing. The hyena, with its scavenging abilities and diverse hunting, acts as nature's recycler, cleaning the environment and preventing disease. Though they are sworn enemies, these species inadvertently support each other, creating a dynamic ecosystem where fierce competition fuels life itself. Naya, a 6-year-old lioness, is not just a leader. She is the living soul of her pride on the vast Serengeti plains. Nia's journey offers a fresh perspective on the lives of great cats. Not just through the tense hunts or the bloody battles, but through an inner journey. At the peak of her life, Nia carries the fate of her pride on her shoulders. In a world where a small mistake can lead to tragedy, she must face life or death choices. Nia's 12-member pride is a finely tuned organization, forged over thousands of generations. The lionesses hunt with incredible precision, while the males patrol the territory. Nia's strength is not just in her muscles. The lion's tongue is not an organ of taste, but a tool of ruthless efficiency. Lined with sharp, backward-facing spines, it is a living rasp designed to strip every last fiber of sustenance from the bone. In this world where a single calorie can be the difference between life and death, nothing is ever wasted. This is also the tool that helps them groom and remove parasites from their own fur and that of their pride members. When a cub is injured in a clash with hyenas, its pale gold coat stained with blood, Nia is not just a grieving mother. As a leader, she must make cold, calculated decisions. Beyond the hunts, Nia and her pride are the unseen guardians of the grasslands. By controlling the populations of zebra, wildebeest, and buffalo, they prevent the Serengeti from turning into a desert. Lions have a sophisticated non-verbal communication, especially through their eyes. They have white patches of fur just below their eyes that act as reflectors, helping them to see each other's expressions. And gaze direction in the low light of dawn or dusk. By observing these subtle signals, pride members can coordinate their actions perfectly without making a sound. However, Nia's throne is never secure. Every move she makes is watched, not just by her own cubs, but by her lifelong rival, Zawadi, the queen of a hyena clan. To the eyes of a predator, Nia is a symbol of power. But beneath her skin is a heart that knows pain, love, and the weight of responsibility for an entire community. The lion, often seen as brutal, is in fact an embodiment of order, resilience, and silent sacrifice. And Nia, against the golden backdrop of the Serengeti, is a living testament to that. If the lion is the majestic king of the savannah, then the hyena is the resilient challenger, ready to confront the throne with intelligence, endurance, and unity. Often misunderstood as cowardly scavengers, the hyena is one of Africa's most formidable predators, with unique characteristics and a sophisticated matriarchal society. The dominance of the female hyena begins even before birth. A queen's reign is decided not on the plains, but in the darkness of the womb. Here, a chemical war is waged, flooding the female embryo with the very hormones of power. She is born not as an infant, but as an heir, already larger, more aggressive, and destined to rule a world defined by strength. In this wildlife documentary, we explore the world of the hyena, from their incredible physical strength and complex social structure to their indispensable ecological role. If Nia is the son of the Serengeti, then Zawadi is the shadow inseparable from her light. As the leader of a spotted hyena clan of over 20, Zawadi lacks the majesty of the lion. But possesses something even more dangerous: cold calculation and patience. Far from the opportunistic scavengers depicted in many wildlife documentaries, hyenas are true strategists. Zawadi's clan operates on a strict hierarchy maintained through alliances, eerie laughter, and even violence. She does not hunt with speed, but with persistence. She does not confront directly, but waits for a mistake. When Nia leads her pride on a hunt, Zawadi lurks in the shadows, silently counting the beats of every decision. Her clan operates like a special ops unit, communicating through whoops and giggles, frequencies that humans cannot fully decipher. Scientists have discovered that each hyena has a completely unique laugh, like an acoustic fingerprint. This laugh not only expresses excitement or stress, but also reveals information about the individual's age, sex, and social status. By listening, other hyenas can recognize exactly who is speaking, and where they stand in the hierarchy, creating an incredibly complex social communication network. In an instant, the entire clan can emerge from the bush, attacking like a wave of silent violence that makes even lions wary. However, Zawadi is not just a rival. She is a mother, a leader, and a protector of her clan's survival in a harsh land. In the dry season, when carrion is a precious resource, Zawadi leads her clan for tens of miles, up to 30 miles, in search of a chance to survive. Their ability to digest bone, skin, and sinew allows them to utilize what others leave behind. They are the silent cleaners of the savannah. In the Serengeti, where life and death are separated by a heartbeat, Nia and Zawadi are two opposing forces. Light and shadow, strength and strategy, maternal love and cold precision. But it is their competition that drives the pulse of the savannah. Where there are no villains or heroes, only the instinct to survive in the form of queens. The battle between Nia and Zawadi is not just a clash of predators. It is a sacred dance of power and intelligence, majesty and persistence. Where every step writes a chapter in the epic story of life, death, and the balance of nature. In this wildlife documentary, the journey of Nia, a symbol of strength and sacrifice, and Zawadi, the embodiment of intelligence and unity, reveals a timeless rivalry. The core of this competition lies in their overlapping food sources. They are two nations at war over a shrinking territory, and their conflict is fueled by a shared appetite. On these plains, the prize is almost always the same: And so, the success of one queen is a direct theft from the table of the other, a rivalry written into the very fabric of this land. Each encounter tests their strategies, with Nia relying on majesty and power, while Zawadi uses agility and coordination to challenge the lion's throne. These encounters vary across the savannah, like chapters in an endless story of conflict and harmony. In Chobe National Park, Zawadi's clan often overwhelms a lone lion with numbers. And chilling calls to sow panic and steal the kill before reinforcements can arrive. But when Nia's pride appears, the tables are turned. Roars and sharp claws force the hyenas to retreat. The lion's roar is one of the most powerful sounds in the animal kingdom, audible from a distance of 5 miles. However, producing such a loud sound requires a tremendous physical effort. It can damage their vocal cords, leaving them hoarse for several days. This is a calculated trade-off. They risk injury to assert their dominance and avoid a potentially bloody confrontation. In the Ngorongoro crater, Nia's pride dominates, killing 60 to 70% of adult hyenas in confrontations. And usurping 71% of their kills, as recorded in 2024. In the Serengeti Mara, Zawadi turns chaos to her advantage. Using the tall grass and their calls to disorient the lions and snatch the prey in moments of weakness. The battle between Nia and Zawadi carries a deep symbolic meaning, like the yin and yang of ancient philosophy. Where the lion and the hyena are two halves of the savannah's soul. Nia, with her strength and sacrifice, represents protection and order, controlling herbivore numbers to allow the grasslands to regenerate. Zawadi, with her intelligence and resilience. Symbolizes adaptability and renewal, cleaning up carcasses to prevent disease and keep the environment healthy. But the significance of this conflict extends beyond individual struggles. Nia and Zawadi fight not just for themselves, but for the survival of the savannah. This competition maintains the balance, ensuring the biodiversity of the savanna. If Naya's pride becomes too powerful, the grasslands could be degraded by the reduced number of herbivores. The dry season, with its scarce water and food, increases the tension. Alone, Naya could be overwhelmed by Zawadi's clan, but her united pride is unstoppable. However, the African savanna, though resilient, faces threats greater than the battles between lions and hyenas. Environmental and human challenges are endangering the delicate balance of this ecosystem. Climate change is reshaping the savanna in profound and irreversible ways. The average temperature has risen by 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit in recent decades, prolonging the dry seasons and depleting vital water sources. The waterholes, once centers of life, often run dry, forcing lions, hyenas and herbivores to crowd around the remaining pools. A 2024 study recorded a 45% increase in confrontations between lions and hyenas due to resource scarcity. Making their already fierce battles more frequent and perilous. Human activities pose even more severe threats. In recent decades, about 75% of savanna land has been converted to agriculture or human settlements. Shrinking the habitats of lions, hyenas, and their prey. As a result, human-wildlife conflict is on the rise. Statistics show that the number of lions killed by humans has increased by 10% in the last 5 years, mainly for attacking livestock. Hyenas face a similar fate, with about 200 cases of being trapped or poisoned annually in Kenya, considered a threat to farmers and communities. This, in turn, reduces plant diversity as the grasslands lack natural grazing control. The complex food chain is at risk of collapse, affecting scavengers like vultures and jackals. However, hope remains. Amidst these challenges, humans are working to protect the savanna and its inhabitants. Reserves like the Serengeti and Masai Mara have been expanded, creating safe ecological corridors for herbivores and predators. Technology like GPS collars and AI cameras tracks lions and hyenas, predicting and mitigating human-wildlife conflict. In Kenya, community programs like the Lion Guardians recruit local people to protect the lions. Turning former hunters into protectors. In the heart of the African savanna, where the sun burns and the wild winds tell ancient stories of life. Lions and hyenas continue their unending struggle for survival. But on this grand stage, a greater threat looms: environmental change and the impact of humanity. Amidst climate change and human expansion, the protected areas are the last strongholds of African wildlife. Yet, on this ancient battleground, a new force is intervening. Not with claws or teeth, but with wisdom. Borders are being redrawn, not to confine, but to give space. A new intelligence now watches over the queens. An attempt to use human foresight not to conquer their world, but to preserve it. It is a fragile truce, offered by the very species that created the threat. This technology predicts conflict hotspots, such as when a pride approaches a village or hyenas roam near farms. This has reduced human-wildlife encounters by 30% in 3 years. Community initiatives are at the heart of conservation. Kenya's Lion Guardians program recruits Maasai warriors, once lion hunters, to protect them using GPS and cameras. The guardians track the lions, warn communities of their approach, and prevent conflicts. The results are impressive. The number of lions killed in areas with guardians has dropped by 90%. In Amboseli, the lion population has grown from 11 in 2007 to over 200 in 2023. However, protecting the future of lions, hyenas, and the African ecosystem requires collective action. Every small step counts. Raising awareness by sharing stories of Africa's wild beauty can inspire millions to act. The African savanna, where the fiery sun and wild winds weave ancient tales, is a grand stage for life and death. Each species, with its own strengths and intelligence, plays an indispensable role in maintaining ecological balance. From controlling herbivores to cleaning up carcasses, ensuring the savanna remains vibrant. But the savanna faces unprecedented threats. Climate change is depleting water and food, while human activities are shrinking habitats. One wrong step, and death will erupt like a storm. Instinct, speed, and blood all are about to converge in a moment of life and death. In a land where the laws are written in fang and claw, who will be the first to break the silence? When the grasslands fall silent, a single breath can awaken death. No rules, no mercy. Only the strong earn the right to exist. Grass, golden eyes ignite. Bodies sink low, every step pulsing with tension. The wind shifts a signal of death's approach. Patience has reached its breaking point. Then chaos erupts. Thunderous hooves, roaring fury, dust exploding like a storm. Zebras scatter, panic tearing through the plains. But there is nowhere left to run. Jaws lock tight, claws sink deep. Life and death now hang by a breath. Silence returns. The pride claims its reward, victory soaked in sweat and blood. From the distance, two shadows emerge, massive, commanding. The true king's male lions. They do not hunt, they simply arrive. One roar, and the prize changes hands. Here, justice does not exist, only survival. On this land, blood speaks louder than power. And every victory comes with a price. In the arid lands of northeastern South Africa, a legacy was born from the conflicts of history. Kruger National Park was officially established in 1926. But its origins trace back to 1898, when Paul Kruger championed the protection of the Sabi Game Reserve. For more than a century, these wildlands have been unified into a seamless conservation ecosystem, spanning 7,576 square miles. The park stretches nearly 225 miles from north to south, crossing the two provinces of Limpopo and Mpumalanga. Rivers like the Sabi and Letaba carve through the terrain, shaping deep valleys and rugged gorges. Kruger's topography is a mosaic of low-veld plains, deep valleys, and granite hills known as kopjes. Life here unfolds like an intricately woven tapestry. Kruger National Park is home to over 147 mammal species, including the iconic Big Five. More than 500 species of birds soar through its canopies and waterways. Some 120 reptile species and over 2,000 native plant species blanket the landscape. But when the dry season arrives, this diversity becomes a double-edged sword. From May to September, Kruger National Park enters its harshest period of the year. The land becomes barren as the grass turns yellow and many trees shed their leaves, exposing vast open terrain. Streams and small ponds gradually vanish, leaving only a few perennial rivers like the Sabi and Letaba to sustain their flow. The landscape becomes unforgiving, yet it also reveals the ceaseless movements of survival. Short migrations are one of them. Herds follow their own paths in search of fresh grass and the last remaining sources of water. These journeys often span dozens to hundreds of miles. And leading this great migratory army are pilgrims who never seem to tire. Under a burning sun and across a fractured earth, the blue wildebeest begins its relentless journey of survival. They are the pioneers, leading a migration of hundreds of miles to find fresh grass and the last pools of water. The wildebeest herds stretch out like a silver-gray river flowing across the savanna. A fully grown blue wildebeest can weigh up to 550 pounds. Both males and females possess curved horns used for defense and for competing during the mating season. Wildebeest are almost entirely dependent on short grasses. When the vegetation becomes dry and brittle, its nutritional value plummets, compelling them to move on. Their bodies are built for long journeys. Long, powerful legs allow them to cover hundreds of miles without exhaustion. Their livers and stomachs are adapted to process dry, nutrient-poor grass far better than many other herbivores. Even their reproductive cycle is timed to counter the harsh conditions. Mating occurs at the end of the wet season, ensuring calves are born at the start of the next rains. Most females give birth at almost the same time, creating a flood of calves. This overwhelms predators, a strategy known as predator swamping. A newborn can stand within 5 to 7 minutes of birth and begins following the herd in just a few hours. But no journey of survival is easy when lions stalk the last remaining waterholes. The herd's tight bond becomes a living shield. However, man-made fences have disrupted traditional migration routes, increasing both risk and energy expenditure. But they are never alone on their journey, for beside them is always a companion in a unique striped coat. Joining the wildebeest in this journey of survival is the plains zebra. Zebra move in constant concert with wildebeest, relying on their superior eyesight to detect predators early. Wildebeest, in turn, provide cover for the zebra on the open plains. During the dry season, zebra often choose short, open grasslands for a clearer view. They must graze continuously to meet their energy needs, spending up to 70 to 80% of their day foraging. Meanwhile, high above, the silent giants of the savannah begin a journey of their own. Although they do not migrate on a grand scale, Kruger's southern giraffes quietly alter their behavior. As the short grasses wither, they move towards woodlands and riverbanks, where trees still hold green leaves. With a neck over 6.5 feet long and a total height of over 18 feet, they can easily reach the high canopy. This ability to stand and browse is their signature nutritional strategy. They can go for days without drinking, thanks to the moisture they get from leaves. However, their very height becomes a vulnerability when they drink. To lower their heads, they must splay their forelegs wide or kneel, an unstable posture that narrows their field of view. This position makes them susceptible to ambush by predators near the water's edge. Their immense vigilance compensates for this awkwardness. They often pause and scan the landscape before committing to move. In the dry season ecosystem, they are not hunters, but they serve as sentinels, acting as radar towers across the savanna. But vigilance from above cannot compare to the absolute power sweeping across the ground. Meanwhile, the great tanks of the savanna move in parallel with the migrating herds. The African elephant in Kruger National Park is a symbol of wild power, with a mature bull weighing up to about 16,500 pounds. Each day, an elephant consumes up to 300 pounds of roots, grasses, fruit, and bark during the dry season. They do not follow fixed paths, but elephants always know where to find water, guided by memory and the leadership of experienced matriarchs. When ponds turn to dust, elephants use their tusks to dig for underground water sources. This not only sustains them, but also offers hope to other species that share the resource. In the dry season, elephants expand their home ranges to access scarce resources. They flexibly alter their diet, shifting from grass in the wet season to a preference for browsing on woody plants during the dry months. Elephants protect their young with formidable social structures. The females will often form a defensive circle around a calf when a threat appears. Encircled by sharp teeth, the mother has nowhere to run. She knows she cannot fight the pack alone. But as she looks into the innocent eyes of the calf trembling behind her, a primal strength awakens. It is not the strength of muscle, but the silent vow of motherhood. She will not flee. She will become the final shield, a living fortress to protect the life she brought into this world. In this moment, she is not prey. She is a warrior, fighting not for her own life, but for the future of her lineage. The ecological impact of elephants in the dry season is profound. They are ecosystem engineers. By felling trees and stripping bark, elephants open up the woodland canopy, allowing sunlight to reach the ground and promoting the regrowth of saplings when the rains return. And in the shadow of these giants, smaller lives find their own ways to survive, quietly and with great cunning. In contrast to the immense frame of the elephant, the steenbok and the common duiker are small and easily concealed. The steenbok stands only about 18 to 21 inches tall and weighs between 20 and 29 pounds. Its reddish-brown coat, white underbelly and large ears help it detect the faintest sounds. The common duiker is slightly larger, with a stocky build and powerful hind legs for explosive leaps. During the dry season, both species move nimbly through the remaining patches of short grass and low shrubs. They often forage at dawn or dusk, when the shadows are long and the temperature is cooler. The steenbok shows a remarkable ability to survive without regular drinking, relying on moisture-rich plants. The duiker, meanwhile, relies more on concealment and speed when approached. Beyond their own survival, these two species help regulate the growth of shrubs. They are also favored prey for leopards, hyenas, and martial eagles, connecting multiple tiers of predators in the dry season food web. But danger does not only come from the ground, for from the sky above, a deadly shadow looms over all. Like another solitary and versatile hunter, the leopard waits in silence, concealed in a tree. The leopard is Kruger's master of stealth and solitude. During the dry season, it uses the shade of riverine forests and thickets near dry riverbeds to stage its ambushes. After a hunt, the kill is hauled into the branches of a tree to keep it safe from thieves. A leopard is capable of dragging a carcass twice its own body weight up into a tree. High on a branch, the ruler of the shadows waits in silence. The leopard needs neither the speed of a cheetah nor the collective strength of a lion pride. Its weapons are silence, patience, and a form that merges with the night. Below, its prey is unaware that death hangs just above. This is a battle without roars, without a chase. It is a contest of wits, a tense game between predator and prey, where every rustle of leaves, every whisper of wind could be the signal of death. And in this suffocating silence, who will make the first mistake? At dawn or dusk, when small animals leave their shelters to find water, the leopard is most active. When it is close enough, it launches itself a sudden pounce like an arrow, striking with claw and jaw. Spotted hyenas often arrive after a leopard has made a kill, attempting to claim the carcass. The leopard's behavior is heavily influenced by the environment and human presence during the dry season. On bright, moonlit nights, leopards hunt less as prey is more alert. They prefer darker nights for greater success. But not all predators rely on darkness. There is one who turns the daylight into a stage for its terrifying speed. Another large cat also hunts alone, also with a spotted pattern like the leopard. But this time the warrior's name is Cheetah. The cheetah's anatomy is the essence of speed. A lightweight frame, long legs, and a flexible spine. Famed for achieving explosive speeds of 68 to 75 miles per hour, the cheetah pays a high price for such velocity. Its claws are semi-retractable, unlike the fully retractable claws of other cats. They are harder, always slightly exposed like cleats, maximizing grip with every stride. Its long tail acts as a living rudder, stabilizing sharp turns at high speed. They stalk their prey at dawn or dusk, using low grass and scattered bushes for cover. Its top speed lasts only a few seconds, rarely for more than 400 to 500 yards, as exhaustion and a rising body temperature force it to stop. After the hunt, they must eat quickly, as their kills are highly susceptible to theft. The savannah holds its breath. All life seems to stop. For the cheetah, this is not a chase. It is a life or death gamble played out in a few short seconds. It has poured millions of years of evolution into this single burst, an explosion of muscle, a flash of lightning tearing through space. But speed is also its curse. Every stride burns precious energy. Every passing second pushes its body to the brink of collapse. Failure is not just a missed meal. Failure means exhaustion, vulnerability, and the death that may come from opportunists lurking somewhere in the shadows. And now, on that fragile edge, the fate of both hunter and hunted will be decided. The cheetah also carries the legacy of two severe genetic bottlenecks. One occurred around 100,000 years ago, and another about 12,000 years ago at the end of the last ice age. These population collapses wiped out genetic diversity. Modern cheetahs carry extremely low genetic variation, making them prone to stress, susceptible to disease, and highly sensitive to environmental changes. The smaller predators of the savanna have their own strategies and domains. And just beneath the arid ground, a sudden death can be delivered with a single strike, silent but deadly. The puff adder is responsible for more snake bites in Africa than any other species. Superbly camouflaged, it often lies motionless on footpaths or in the dry grass of Kruger. When accidentally stepped on, the puff adder responds with a hiss, coiling into an S shape as a warning before it strikes. Its venom is primarily cytotoxic, causing severe swelling and tissue damage if left untreated. Puff adders are most active in the early morning and the cooler hours of the late afternoon. They hunt by ambush, waiting for small mammals, birds, or lizards to pass by before striking with incredible speed. But venom is not the only weapon of the reptile. In the murky water, a prehistoric predator waits with jaws more fearsome than any poison. Kruger National Park is renowned as a kingdom of reptiles, so the Nile crocodile cannot be overlooked. As the Letaba or Sabi rivers shrink, the crocodiles lie in wait in the mud, waiting for prey to come for a drink. The bite force of a large crocodile has been measured at over 5,000 pounds per square inch. As river levels drop, crocodiles become almost motionless during the day to conserve energy. They ambush in the early morning or late afternoon when animals come to drink or cross at the water's edge. Although their primary diet is fish, when the water recedes and mammals draw closer to drink, crocodiles seize the opportunity. Unlike the predators above, the king of the savannah is a social hunter. That unity gives them the courage to challenge even other predators like the Nile crocodile. Yet, even the ruler of the waters must be wary of the power of the pride of the true kings of this land. As the sun sets on the savannah, the lion pride begins to sense a change in the air. Their sharp eyes search not only for prey, but also listen to the signals from the grasslands. Possessing a muscular body, the male is distinguished by a magnificent golden mane. They move with regal grace, each step heavy yet light, as if knowing that every footfall carries the potential for death. Movement in the water captures their attention. A lion slowly approaches the swamp, where the dark water begins to ripple. A half-submerged figure is slowly drifting closer. Only its head and red eyes are visible. The crocodile's every move seems to blend into its surroundings, perfectly still and waiting. Suddenly, as if by silent agreement, they both declare war. Neither side gives way. The two rulers unleash lethal attacks. But when the battle ends, there is no victor. They retreat, their eyes filled with regret at not being able to finish the fight. Both understand that victory in this world is not always clear-cut. Life goes on, bringing new opportunities, new challenges for both. In the wild, no one can rest forever because the struggle for survival never ends. The lion is the largest cat in Africa. A male can weigh nearly 500 pounds. With a muscular build and powerful forelimbs, they can bring down prey more than twice their size. The thick mane around a male's neck is not just for show, it serves as protection. During battles for territory, or to defend the pride, the mane shields the neck and shoulders. Lions are the only cats that live in social groups. A pride typically consists of 2 to more than 10 members. Males defend the territory and protect the cubs, while the lionesses are the primary hunters. Lionesses hunt in groups, coordinating to encircle and bring down large prey. Each pride roams a vast area, but they guard water sources during the dry season as if they were their lifeblood. Lions are most active at dusk and throughout the night. A lion's roar can be heard up to 5 miles away. The dry season in Kruger National Park becomes a stage for intense hunts. As the savanna cracks and dries, water becomes an unavoidable concentration point for migrating herds. Lions take advantage of this, ambushing at dwindling waterholes or along the Sabi and Letaba rivers. Hunts often take place at dawn or under the light of the moon. The pride spreads out in the darkness, surrounding their prey. If successful, the males often eat first, followed by the lionesses, and finally the cubs. But if they fail, the entire pride may go hungry for days. In Kruger's ecosystem, lions play a crucial role in regulating herbivore populations. By targeting the weak, old, or young individuals in migrating herds, they help maintain the genetic health of the prey populations. However, lions in Kruger are facing increasing pressure. A 2023 report from Africa Geographic noted that in the northern part of the park, only about 122 lions remain. Surveys suggest the population may have declined by as much as 63% in the last 18 years due to human-wildlife conflict and prey loss. And as the king's throne wavers, a savage laughter begins to echo across the savannah, heralding the rise of a rival power. High above, the martial eagle spreads its wings, surveying the land below. As Africa's largest eagle, the martial eagle soars silently over Kruger's arid skies. With eyesight 3 to 4 times sharper than a human's, it can spot small prey from a distance of several hundred yards. The dry season is a time when smaller animals emerge more frequently to find water, creating ideal hunting opportunities for the eagle. A camera trap study at Nests from 2018 to 2022 recorded 44 different prey species. Monitor lizards and helmeted guinea fowl made up the bulk of the diet. As temperatures rose, martial eagles showed a preference for reptiles over birds when feeding their young. Protecting a kill from other predators is always part of the challenge. The martial eagle must act quickly before hyenas or lions arrive. However, the population of martial eagles in Kruger is in decline. Research by the African Bird Club reports a decline of around 56% compared to earlier records. When the sky is no longer safe, the ground is no more peaceful. For in the darkness, a master predator becomes one with the night. The spotted hyena is one of the primary challengers in the lion's predatory arena. More than just scavengers, spotted hyenas have their own hunting strategies. They organize nocturnal hunts, running their prey to exhaustion before tearing it apart with their powerful jaws. Especially in the absence of lions, hyenas emerge as the rulers of the world of carrion. They live in a matriarchal system where females lead the clans and have priority access to food. On major hunts, hyenas coordinate in smaller groups to take down agile prey. When confronting lions, hyenas will retreat if outnumbered. But when their numbers are greater, they will boldly return to reclaim a kill. But not every hunt ends in brute force. Some turn the chase into a deadly marathon where endurance is the ultimate weapon. Like lions and hyenas, pack unity is the key to the African wild dog's survival. They do not ambush but chase to the end. This species is believed to have the highest hunting success rate in Kruger, around 70 to 90%. Their society is matriarchal, with a female holding the leadership role. The wild dog's body is built for speed and stamina, with long legs, low shoulders, and a light frame. Large rounded ears help dissipate heat, while a white-tipped tail acts as a visual signal for pack members. They are most active in the early morning and late afternoon to avoid the intense heat of the dry season. Their hunting style is based purely on endurance. Despite being one of the most effective hunters, the African wild dog remains rare in Kruger. They require vast territories, which often leads to conflict with humans on the park's edges. Infectious diseases, particularly canine distemper and rabies, have further weakened their populations. And after every bloody battle, when silence returns, the sky reveals the cleaners, the final witnesses to every life's end. After the dramatic hunts comes the patient wait of the white-backed vulture. Soaring high above with sharp vision, this species is often the first to spot a carcass. Descending quickly, they tear open the abdomen of the carcass, creating an entry point for other scavengers. Though they do not hunt, they play a critical role in cleaning the savanna, preventing the spread of disease. During the dry season, white-backed vultures intensify their search for large carcasses like wildebeest or buffalo. They ride thermal currents to soar high with minimal energy expenditure, surveying a vast territory below. At fresh carcasses, they tear at the soft tissues to access the internal organs first, after which other vultures, hyenas, and jackals will arrive. In May 2025, a poisoned elephant carcass in Kruger caused the deaths of 123 vultures. Research warns that if just one poisoned elephant carcass goes untreated every 2 years, the white-backed vulture in Kruger could disappear within 50 to 60 years. But at the feast of the dead, there is always one who arrives last but holds the power to decide, a giant strong enough to drive away the weaker ones. The lappet-faced vulture also never misses Kruger's final feasts. Larger and more aggressive, this bare-faced vulture has an incredibly strong beak, capable of tearing through the thick hide of a dead buffalo or elephant. It often arrives after the first vultures, but it dictates who gets access to the tougher remains. The lappet-faced vulture is a highly competitive scavenger, capable of chasing off hawks or even smaller hyenas. After days of trial, the survivors here are the warriors resilient enough to welcome the first rains back to Kruger. The rainy season lasts from October to April, bringing high humidity and sudden afternoon thunderstorms. The arid savanna gradually turns green. Water holes refill, and the air becomes saturated with moisture. The rainy season brings abundance, but territorial instincts are never set aside. As Kruger's grasslands regrow after heavy rains, the Cape buffalo emerges like a mobile black fortress. A mature bull can weigh between 1,100 and 2,000 pounds. Their thick, curved horns merge at the forehead into a boss that acts as a shield. These horns become weapons during the rutting season when males confront one another. Calves are typically born between January and April, just after the rains subside, when the grass is still lush. Each calf is protected by the entire herd, positioned in the center of a circle of adults. With water sources spread across the savanna, buffalo drink 8 to 10.5 gallons a day and seek cool places to wallow. The mud acts as an insect repellent, a coolant, and a skin treatment all at once. But the rainy season brings more than just food. It also brings threats. Lions often stalk near the rivers where buffalo gather to drink. Nile crocodiles lurk in the murky waters. However, in Kruger, buffalo are also a reservoir for bovine tuberculosis. When the next dry season arrives and buffalo crowd around scarce waterholes, the risk of disease transmission increases sharply. Meanwhile, the rivers belong to another ruler, a giant that seems slow but hides an unpredictable fury. The rivers where buffalo wallow are also the domain of the hippopotamus. As the Sabi, Oliphants, and other rivers swell after heavy rains, the hippopotamus becomes the lord of the waters. During the day, they submerge themselves in deep pools. At night, they leave the water to graze, sometimes traveling 3 to 6 miles. Although a creature of the water, the hippopotamus cannot swim. They are not naturally buoyant, but move by walking along the riverbed. The hippo's appearance belies its underlying power. Its skin is smooth, hairless, and thin. It secretes a creamy pink fluid that acts as a natural sunscreen. Their eyes, ears, and nostrils are positioned high on their heads so they can breathe, see, and listen while submerged. Males compete for mating rights through physical clashes that display their size, tusks, and threat displays. According to the African Wildlife Foundation, a single hippo can consume about 88 pounds of vegetation in one night of foraging. But on land, there is another ancient warrior, clad in thick armor and carrying a deadly weapon on its nose. The rainy season breathes life into every corner of Kruger. Among them are the mighty yet vulnerable rhinoceroses. In Kruger National Park, two great species, the white rhino and the black rhino, share the same land but live in very different ways. When the rains come, the grass returns, and water holes spread across the savanna, the lives of both species are revitalized. The white rhino is large, placid, and social. Weighing from about 4,900 to nearly 6,000 pounds, it is the second largest land mammal after the elephant. Its wide, square mouth is made for grazing. They often live in groups of 2 to 6 individuals. The black rhino is smaller, solitary, and secretive. It weighs between 1,760 and 3,086 pounds with a more compact build. Its prehensile upper lip is designed for browsing on leaves, twigs, and fruit from bushes and thickets. They move alone, silently navigating the dense bush. When confronted, they do not back down. Both species link their reproductive cycles to the rainy season. Mating often begins after the first rains. Their feeding behaviors clearly separate the two species. The white rhino is a bulk grazer. The black rhino, in contrast, is a browser, feeding on leaves, shoots, and bark. The rainy season significantly expands their home ranges. But the pressure from humans remains a constant burden. The good news is, thanks to aggressive anti-poaching efforts, the number of rhinos killed in Kruger has dropped significantly. According to a 2023 report, the number fell to about 124 individuals, a major improvement from previous years, but the fight is far from over. Even so, the black rhino remains critically endangered due to its small population, slow reproductive rate, and shrinking habitat. Amidst the battles of giants, life still sprouts in its own way, elegant and graceful, signaling a season of intense renewal. The rainy season in Kruger is also the stage for an explosion of new life. Every year at the beginning of the wet season, nearly all female impalas in Kruger give birth within a few weeks of each other. The newborn fawns, still trembling on their legs, are able to run within a few hours. It is a biological marvel, synchronized births that overwhelm predators. Impalas are a favored prey species, especially for leopards, which makes this synchronized birthing all the more critical. During the rainy season, impalas gather around water sources and open grasslands. They move in large herds to reduce the risk of predation. Their activity peaks in the early morning and late afternoon. But not all species only know how to flee. There are more complex societies where intelligence and unity are weapons against danger. Chakma baboons also take advantage of the short-term abundance of food during Kruger's rainy season. Carrying their young across the savanna, Chakma baboons forage while remaining constantly vigilant for leopards. With grass sprouting and fruit ripening after the rains, baboons gather in large troops to forage. Their defensive instincts are strong. Infants are kept at the center of the troop. And in the high canopy, other sentinels are also on duty, with a surprisingly complex alarm system. Another primate and a common resident of Kruger's woodlands is the vervet monkey. Perched on rain-soaked branches, vervet monkeys become the silent sentinels of the canopy. Their appearance is distinctive: a slender body, silvery grey fur, and a striking black face. When the rains fall and the trees flower and fruit once more, food becomes plentiful. Defense is an instinct from the youngest to the oldest individuals. When they spot a leopard or an eagle, vervet monkeys emit distinct alarm calls. Research has shown that when they hear the leopard call, they run up into the trees. When they hear the eagle call, they look up at the sky, and for the snake call, they look down at the ground. While the ground and trees are filled with battles of wits for survival, the sky is a stage for dazzling, colorful dances.